Well, this is Erica on 94.3 Radio 1 coming to you in Mumbai City and in Delhi. Firstly, I am so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to welcome on the show Sushant Divgikar, aka Rani Ko-HE-NUR. Welcome.
Woohoo! Erica, I'm so happy to be here with you. And it's always been a pleasure listening to you, first of all, on all
Thank
my
you.
drives to work, to and fro work. And also, I've had the pleasure of you introducing me for the MJ tribute at once we did at Hard Rock Cafe. And so for me, it's been such a pleasure watching you and listening to you all these years. So thank you for having me on your show.
Mwah, mwah. I love it. Listen, you are so out there and you are really loud and proud. And that's what we love about you. So, firstly, happy Pride Month.
Thank you so much, and happy Pride Month to you as well, because you've been such a wonderful ally to the community.
There's no other way to be, is there? I mean, I'm so thrilled that so much is happening within the community as well. It's evolving to a different space. I noticed that in your titles, you've got he, she, they. You've got psychologist. You've got Forbes is 30 under 30. Mr. Gay India 2014. You're a singer performer, India's mainstream drag queen. I love that drag icon as well. So many titles, but it's taken you 15 years, hasn't it, to get to where you're at? A little bit about that journey. Would you like to comment on that journey in one simple hashtag?
I would hashtag my journey and say hashtag worth it.
Right, worth it.
It's been
That is great to know. So, Pride Month celebrations, I know, are all over the place. It's all virtual, unfortunately, the way things
yes.
are. Which has been the wildest virtual Pride Month party you've had thus far? Don't
I
hold
love
back.
it. You
Don't
know
hold
what?
back.
I thought that the one where I was invited with my father for the virtual Pride celebrations for World Pride that
Right.
they did last year in June. We were also still in a lockdown.
Yeah.
We were in a lockdown back then as well. And I thought that that was amazing because my father was sitting right next to me and enjoying all the performances, all the sass and all
Yeah.
the all the personality and the colors, and he was loving it. And I actually got scared because I thought my dad might get scandalized, but he was enjoying it. And I thought that I was sitting there, and then they started playing my performance, which was a burlesque performance. And I had
Right.
these feathers and then, the striptease and all of that.
Right.
And then my father was like, slowly telling me, maybe you should have worn a different color. I was like, I said, so you're not scandalized with me with the striptease, but you believe that I should have worn another color. It was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. Also, we had many people from all around the world. We celebrated diversity even within the LGBT community.
That's right.
So that was for me very wonderful, very beautiful, because love has no barriers and love has no language and music. And that's why I say that, through my art, I want to change people's perspectives and misconceptions and fallacies.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we celebrate Pride, is because we're so different in so many ways, but there are so many intersectionalities
Yep.
that unify us. And I
Yeah.
think that that's very beautiful. That's why we celebrate Pride.
So, coming to your talent, right? I mean, as a singer, you love Bollywood classics. I know that you're putting up little posts every other day. Clearly, you've dedicated a lot of your life to training in music, training in all of that. So, a little bit about that journey as an artist, importantly.
Erica, it so happens that I am not professionally trained in music, in vocals. My vocals are not. So I used to learn by watching other people, because when I was younger, I was a swimmer. I used to represent the state, Maharashtra, my state, at the national level competitions. My brother come from a family of sports people. And so I really didn't have time between school and swimming to
Yeah.
actually pursue music. And I thought that it was something I always wanted to do. So in my free time, we used to listen to the radio a lot. Okay, back then we didn't have phones that had music on them.
Yeah.
We didn't even, we had cassette players. We had what was that called? Uh,
Sony Walkman, the
the
Walkman.
Walkman, and we had cassettes and Walkmans, and it was so beautiful that we had that. We used to wait. We didn't even know how to fast forward, and so we used to. Initially, they didn't even have the fast forward button. So once you played it, you had to listen to the entire tape for the fourth song to come on, and the fourth song used to be a favorite. So things like that, and I really cherish those moments, because today sometimes we take for granted technology, and I think that that struggle and that whole thing about to listen to your favorite artist and try and emulate them, emulate the texture and dexterity of voice. I would like to thank people like you for playing us music that we didn't otherwise have on the radio. So I used to wait to go for training, so on the way we could listen to radio, and we could listen to we could listen to you.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I learned music. That's how I learned how to sing.
Right.
So from there, then I realized that I should kind of be more eclectic in my approach as an artist and not confine myself to a particular genre. That's why I started singing in multiple genres.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. So on the one hand, you're doing cabaret. On the other hand, you're doing Bollywood classics. Then of course you represent Michael Jackson at events, and this is just incredible. Do you have a favorite artist? Do you have someone that you go to and listen to?
Absolutely, I love Michael Jackson. I love Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Adele, Amy Winehouse, Beyonce.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes, honey.
Yes, honey. I love that. I'm looking at you, right? So when I'm doing my sort of, social media nonsense, I need a filter. All right. I'm looking at, okay, which filter? But you, oh my God, you are flawless. I mean, we need tips.
My.
You do. I mean, so how long does it take you to get it together? Like one is obviously in your Rani Ko-HE-NUR avatar, and the other one as well. How long does it take you to sort of get it together? I would take forever.
I woke up like this. I did.
And you know what? I believe you. I believe you.
Erica, I woke up like this because I slept like this from last night's shoot.
So listen, man, you're obviously burning the candle at both ends. You're working really hard. This is tough work. It is tough work. It's so gritty, and you really have to keep at it, right? So give us the real deal. I mean, how many hours a day are you working?
Oh my God. First of all, I'll be honest and tell you that I have the most amazing team that works with me, for me, and alongside me, that carries me, honestly, because sometimes as an artist you get tired, you get doubtful, you have the inner saboteur that starts kicking in. And I have the wonderful team that honestly, right from literally waking me up to just telling me, yes, you're going to go and conquer it today. You need people like that believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And I think that I'm very thankful to my team, my drag family, my manager Nikki, my own family. They all make sure that I'm alive and kicking, literally. And as you asked me, how long does it take to get ready? It takes me about 3.5 hours to get into drag, just to get into drag. So the hair and makeup takes that long. Even if it's for a 5-minute performance, or if it's for a 15-minute performance, I take 3.5 hours to get ready, because it's very detailed. It's very, very, systematic, and it's very aesthetically, it has to fall into place, everything. It's very connected to each other, So if your hair is done and your makeup's not done, then you're going to look busted, and people are going to read you, and, because they also look up to you. And I think that otherwise, as Sushant, it usually takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to get ready. That way I'm quick.
That's good. You like quickies. Okay. Well,
brands That's what she said.
Brands are flocking to you today. I mean, from chai to makeup to food to alcohol. Would this have been possible 10 years ago? Are you feeling that you and your community are sort of in a more kind of secure space today? Are you feeling that?
Very much so. In fact, I believe that if it wasn't for people that came before me to lay the foundation for the community,
Yeah.
people like Ashok Rao Kavi, people like Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi, people like, Harish Iyer, Sonal Giani, Wendell Rodrigues,
Yeah.
Rohit Bal, and so many more that, accepted and wonderfully portrayed their expression. And they said, to hell with the heteronormative outlines that we have to adhere to. We are not heteronormative and we can't be. And they are the ones who challenged it so that people like me in the late 2000s and early 2010, from onwards, we had the opportunity to portray ourselves without the fear of what will happen to us, because they are the ones that set the foundation. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank them. And of course, today, I'm not going to lie, the Gen Z has it much easier than we all did. Okay.
Yeah.
Honey, they have it much easier than we all did.
Right.
Definitely.
So speaking of the Gen Z, today we have a lot of the artists today who are coming out as, non-binary, gender fluid, Sam Smith, for example, Demi Lovato, all of that, So, and also when you see queerness being normalized in mainstream media, like OTT platforms and all of that, how does that make you react?
Erica, I have to tell you, it fills my heart with joy.
Yeah.
I usually get very emotional. I'm a petty emotional bitch from Bandra. Let me tell you that. Okay. And I'm very emotional. So you speak about my family, you speak about my community, you speak about empowerment, and I start howling, not even crying. So because I respect the journey that people have gone through.
Yeah.
Even as women, you have gone through, there are certain patriarchal notions that, women can't do this, gay people can't do that, transgender women don't deserve this. So we have all gone through certain similar intersectional struggles.
Yeah.
And I think that because you're sitting where you are today, Erica, and you don't know the power that you have, your voice carries with it, not just because it's very sexy, but also because it empowers many other girls in, smaller cities to say that if Erica can do it, I can.
Okay.
And if Sushant can do it, we can.
Right.
And I think that for me is a bigger accomplishment. And for all of us, when we are put on a pedestal, when we voice for other people, that is when I feel so good. So when OTT platforms make this effort of creating more scripts, making it more inclusive, making it more diverse representation, I think hats off to them.
Okay. People like RuPaul, have literally taken it around the world. Do you have a drag queen that inspires you or inspires, your avatar, Rani Ko-HE-NUR?
I would have to say it's RuPaul.
Yeah.
Because RuPaul has really pushed the envelope, gotten a Hollywood star, has made sure that she's put her foot in the door so that people take notice to drag all around the world. And I think we have to all give her credit for that.
Right. I mean, she's become a genuine mogul. I mean, she takes home like north of $1 million annually. So clearly she's a huge inspiration. We also learned a lot of things watching about, the drag fraternity, about hair, about makeup, about tucking. We learned a lot about that. And about... But I have to come to the hair. How do you deal with body hair?
Oh, I go to the quintessential waxing appointments and I say all my prayers. I remember all my gods and my friends' gods and my neighbors' gods because it's painful. But there are also other drag queens that don't think that it's necessary to wax because it's a natural process. Okay. Hair, body hair is a natural phenomenon. So for them, their aesthetic, they don't believe that they need to wax. And I respect that. But personally, for me, I believe that, I like to look a certain way. So for me, that's why I have to say a lot of prayers. I keep like the holy scriptures in my purse also.
Okay. What do your parents think about Rani Ko-HE-NUR?
I think sometimes they secretly wish that Rani was their daughter and over me. So I think that I have to remind them I have to remind them that I am also, that I am your child. It's me,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they love Rani Kohinoor, and they love the whole idea of the elegance, and then the charm that she carries with herself, and also how she sort of how through Rani I empower myself and my journey. So for me, they're very happy for me.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that they might have put Rani Kohinoor in their will, and that's quite a problem.
Yeah. You better get that checked.
Girl.
Better check that. Uh, on a more serious note, like you've strongly advocated for transgender rights, what needs to be done more to get them on an even platform? I know there's so much work still to be done, but let's have it from you.
Honestly, Erica, when I came out as non-binary myself, which falls under the transgender spectrum, the trans spectrum, I didn't even know there was something called something known as non-binary for the longest time. So I had to also adhere to the masculinity, the again, the toxic masculinity, even within the gay community.
Right. Okay.
I had to
Okay.
also behave like, because there are people who are mask for masking with it. See, I always say this, that even within the community, we are not all angels and unicorns, and we don't always fart rainbows.
Right.
So we also have a lot of discrimination within the community that I would like to address and say that if you don't want to be judged, then don't judge.
Right. Absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
don't think anybody is on a pedestal to judge anybody, or to kind of dictate to them how they should live, what they should do, what they should eat, and who they should be with. So for me, I honestly believe that when I came out as non-binary, I realized that at least I'm privileged enough to have a family that accepts me and loves me unconditionally and allows me to do what I want to do.
Yep.
At least I have the privilege of being educated. At least I have the privilege of having a roof over my head. So many of my transgender sisters are thrown on the streets because it's not that they chose to do it. They've
Yeah.
been ostracized, and
Yeah.
the blood is on all our hands. And I think we all need to do so much more to uplift them, empower them, and give them equal opportunities so that they can live their best life.
Okay. On a lighter note, Diamond.
Ah,
Ah,
I wear a lot of diamonds,
I can
darling.
tell you love to sparkle. I've been listening to it. In fact, just before our chat, I was listening to it. So you dropped this, I think, last year. This is your
Yes,
original. Okay,
yes.
very cool, very interesting. I'm loving it.
Thank
So
thank
a little bit about Diamond, and I'll play a snippet out for the Radio One audiences as well. Talk to us about the song.
Diamond is a product of the pandemic and the lockdown.
Okay.
I wanted to inculcate the idea of oneness and unity. Therefore, you will see even in the music video, of course, you see the lyrics say that I'm a diamond. You can see me. You can never look through me. You can stare at me, but you can't look through me, because
Right.
I am inevitably evident, and I'm there, and you cannot dim my sparkle. So this is an anthem for each and every person that has been told that you can't do it, you're not good enough. It's not just for the community, or it's not just for the queer people. It's for each and every one of us. Just like Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive is an anthem for women, men, gay people, trans people, Diamond is exactly that. And also because, I have incorporated a lot of real faces in it. They're not models. They are real people with real stories.
Right.
So you see people from the community. You see my father in the video also. My father wanted to be like, can I be part of this? And I was like, you have to audition, Dad.
Well, clearly he passed the audition, so he's in it.
And clearly he did, with flying colors. And, so that's what Diamond stands for. Diamond stands for unity in diversity and
Okay.
oneness. And the idea that we are all important. Our roles may be small, big, or, you might feel they're not consequential, but each one of us is put here to play a role, and we need to celebrate that. We need to celebrate
Absolutely.
ourselves.
Okay. Um, what's the first thing you're going to do, Sushant, at the end of this pandemic when you're through to the other side? What's the first thing you really want to do?
The first thing I really want to do is have a massive concert, and I want you to be there. Okay. And I want everyone to be there and everyone to be mesmerized by Rani Ko-HE-NUR, by Sushant, and help other artists. With whatever I can with the proceeds, if it ever happens. I don't know when these concerts are going to happen again. I miss them.
Yeah.
I really miss performing on stage. So I really want to get back. The first thing I want to do is plan a huge, massive concert, and then of course travel the world. I've had enough.
Oh.
That's what I was just saying to Nikki and my manager and my drag child. I was like, "Sare passports, on all my passports, all visas are there,
Yeah.
but can't travel.
Yeah. All
I can't
dressed
go from
up.
Bandra
Yeah.
West to Bandra East."
All dressed up, nowhere to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I so get you. And finally, how different is Rani Ko-HE-NUR from Sushant Divgikar?
Oh my God, that's the question. Now that is the question. And if I was looking at myself, I would say, don't answer it. It's rhetoric. So no, but I would say that Rani is way, way, way more flamboyant and speaks up so much more and so empowered, because her inspirations are strong women and strong real women and their stories.
Yep.
So Rani is way more different. But I would also like to remind Rani Ko-HE-NUR that if there is no Sushant, then there can be no Rani Ko-HE-NUR. So Rani Ko-HE-NUR, usually if she was another entity, she would not even look at Sushant in the same room, I believe. But I love both. I love the synergy, as I say, of both male and female energy in me, and I celebrate it every day. And I think through this performing art of drag, I've had the opportunity to connect to so many people around the world, and I just hope to continue doing it.
Yeah. I have to say thank you so much. You know what? It's someone like you who's got so much of courage to stand up against the norm, to go out there and do what you want to do, to express yourself openly, and to, entertain us and be so full of joy. We love you. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Enjoy this Pride Month, and rest assured, we shall be with you every step of the way.
Thank you so much, Erica. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
One world, your station. Radio 1.